Hello and welcome to Midnight. This is Reverend Anna from Anna Transylvania's Tarot Room, and this is your Tarot Tuesday, where we take a little beat of what's going to happen in the week following. Okay, so let's see what is happening for the collective. By the way, happy St. Patty's Day for all of you who celebrate. Kisses to all the Irish and the non-Irish. Okay. All right. Let's see what is happening for the collective in the week following. Okay, a little introspection. Okay. Whew. Okay. All right. Okay. We like this. Let's sit here for a second. I'm gonna put the cards right here, and we're gonna go through this top row over here. Today is gonna be a little bit of a longer thing. Now, you guys, there's a few, okay, groups of you today and this week. Some of you are introspecting. Some of you are releasing things that no longer serve you, okay? Go watch the astrology. This was there, okay? And some of you are planning what you're going to be doing next and what your priorities are, okay? But on the whole, this is the energy of the group. So I'm going to read it all as one, okay? So for now, it is saying that introspection is the key to not repeating patterns that hurt you, okay? Introspection is also the key, okay? So this would be a pattern that hurts you. It always ends this way. It always ends in heartache and heartbreak and everything like that. So a lot of you are being introspective this week. You must have listened to my astrology from last week. Good for you if you have. If not, all of you are intuitive on this channel, okay? All of you have some sort of intuition, some sort of like spiritual practice, some sort of faith that carries you through. So you are searching inside yourselves for an answer to the question, how do I not end up here again? How do I stop repeating this pattern? Like, I want this pattern to come to an end. How do I stop it? Okay. And how do I bring in the good things that I know that I deserve? Okay. So let's ask. I'm going to ask for clarification on that Three of Swords, please. Okay. Sorry. I just moved the camera a little bit. Let's go back. Okay. Let's ask for clarifications on that Three of Swords, please. Okay. You can see my ring. Are they pretty? No, I'm not selling them. I just bought this one. All right. So clarification on the Three of Swords. All right. Okay. So that's what it's saying. It is saying that it's, how do I put it? Okay. It is, so this wound that you have that keeps taking you back to the heartbreak, back to this place, back to the reality where all you can have is disappointment, okay? This wound that you have is so deep, and it's basically like a wound that can't be healed in the next 5 minutes, okay? It's not like something small. Also, because you've carried it a long time, okay? A lot of you have carried this wound for a long time. You might not actually be aware it's there. So if I were people on this channel, I would say, if you're working with any kind of like, God, goddess, God, Jesus, whoever, okay, any kind of deity, if you're working with any kind of deity or spirit or anything like that, I would ask for clarity. Also, the astrology bears that clarity is going to be had, but I would ask clarity for this pattern that keeps going, and it goes in so fast that you don't even realize that it's to the wound that it's going, because you're kind of being caught unaware. So every single time like this pattern starts, you don't know the pattern is starting because it just feels so familiar and you feel comfortable there. Okay. But it's zapping your strength and it's zapping your health. So sometimes these cards here, now I am not a private health reader, but sometimes these cards here can have something to do with not feeling our best on a physical level. Like our organs are not clean. Okay, so it's about fasting and like allowing ourselves to like really cleanse the toxins out on a spiritual level as well, emotional level as well, okay, because it is a heart. So it's time for a cleaning. It is time for a cleaning so that we can see. Okay, so what happens if my collective cleans? Okay, I'm shuffling off camera because it's hard to shuffle on camera. Okay, but you can hear me shuffle, ASMR, okay? You can see me shuffle. What happens if my collective cleans themselves emotionally, mentally, spiritually, physically? You know, clean up the diet, clean up the exercise routine, really introspect. What happens if they do all of those things? Okay. There's 3 cards here. It is saying they will not be giving their energy to a dream that is unachievable, okay? To a dream that they've already achieved, or to a dream that they would be achieving if they were their old selves, okay? So it's saying that you will be releasing these dreams and aspirations and allowing new dreams to come in. So if you release these dreams and aspirations, if we release the wound, if we release the things that have disappointed us that we haven't gotten, okay, it is time to admit that we're not getting them. It is time for us to admit that we're hurt about not getting them, disappointed, and just release. So this week is a releasing week, okay? Releasing, cleaning, clearing, you know, starting a spring cleaning, okay? Also, this week, if we get rid of all of these things, new opportunities, new dreams, new beginnings are coming in quite fast, quite fast. Some of you are going to be holding on to certain dreams that you've had because it's just who you are, you know. You've had these dreams, you've been achieving them, and now you just want to level up. And that is fine. It's fine to hold on to some things. Just if it doesn't feel good to you anymore, if you're like, I don't even know why this is here, please allow yourselves to really, really clear your mind, clear your heart, clear your physical space of anything that doesn't serve. Okay? Now, is it going to happen in a week for some of you? No. For some of you, it's going to be more of a process, but don't give up. It's saying, please prioritize this process because only after you clear can the new come in. And a lot of you have already wanting manifestations and things like this that you haven't wanted before. All right. So what else? What about this 9 of Pentacles over here, please? What about this 9 of Pentacles over here? What is this 9 of Pentacles, please? I'm shuffling off camera. Okay. They're reiterating, okay? They're reiterating that, like, if you release the old patterns, new patterns are going to emerge, and you're not going to vibrate to the old patterns anymore. Okay. Also, to releasing nostalgia for the things that had been and that you have achieved. Yes, pat yourself on the back by all means. You know, it's okay to reminisce about all of the things that you've been successful at. That's not a problem. But what is a problem is like keeping yourself stuck in the reminiscing. Like the football player, you know, who still lives in high school, even though he's 40 now. Okay? Or she's 40 now. All right. So what else do we need to know for the collective, please, for this coming week? Yeah, a lot of you do not, like when I was 14, I wanted a pony. Do I want one now? No. Okay, a lot of you do not resonate with what you resonated with even a few years ago. So it's time to release that. So what else do we need? What is the advice for my collective? What is the advice for my collective for this next coming up week? Yes. Beautiful. Look, it is okay. So they're talking about releasing things from your environment, heart, mind, spirit, things like this, that no longer serve you, that you no longer vibe with, ideas, frequencies, whatever it is. They're talking about releasing. So the more thoroughly you release things that hurt you, things that where you feel abandoned, I think the more thoroughly you release them, the more inspired you will be this week. And they're saying this week is about inspiration only. Okay, inspiration will come, ideas will come, uh, steps to move forward will be coming in. And they're saying, please prioritize writing all of these ideas and everything like that, and making these plans, but do not take concrete action just yet. Allow yourself to like really think about these plans, really put them in perspective, really make a 10-year plan based on these. What else is the advice, please? Yes, they're saying some of these plans will require choices that have not arrived yet. So, in order for you not to plan too far ahead, they're saying please live in the moment. And once inspiration strikes, make a plan to move forward with the said inspiration. Some of you will actually have what people might call a spontaneous healing. Okay. It's going to feel like out of the blue, these things that you had are no longer there. And oh my God, like, wow, how wonderful it feels. Okay. Um, it is saying to really, really be discerning about the choices that you make this week. Okay. Especially on an emotional level, especially on a spiritual level, the choices that you make this week will set the tone for like the next 6 months, the next 4 months, the next 7 months. Okay. um let's see what else. Yeah, they're saying release self-doubt. All right, and to close the reading, what is the outcome for the people who are actually going to do all of this and accept the inspiration and just plan around the inspiration, please? What is the outcome? What is the outcome? Okay, what is the outcome? Boom. So the outcome is yes, make a plan. The outcome is no longer compromising or like choosing to do so many things at once that you're dissipating your energy. The outcome is focusing on working out the plan that inspires you, the plan that brings you happiness, the plan that brings you joy, the plan that gives you inspiration. Putting that into play, prioritizing that is the outcome of that. But for that, you must wait for the moment where the information is given, where the information is uncovered, where the right choice is made. So you must make and wait for the choice that is proper. Okay, don't just take the first thing that comes along. It's kind of what it's saying. It's saying you'll get lots of inspirations, but don't just wait for the next, don't just Don't just pick the first thing that comes along. Really, really take a look and scrutinize all of the options to make sure that you're picking the best one. So this week is about releasing things to make room for new things and new inspirations and new ideas about where to go next. And really allowing yourself to bask in the glory of having these new ideas and making plans to integrate those ideas into your life. It's like a step by step, okay? And it's about focusing on these ideas instead of focusing on the old, saying no longer compromising on keeping the old around and keeping space for things that don't serve us. And no more juggling in between the new and the old. It is time to choose the new this week. It is time to allow yourself to be inspired to do some new things and then integrate them into your life by the end of the week, by the end of the month. For some of you, it's going to be longer. Okay? All right, guys. Like, share, subscribe, comment if you want to. Bye.